Welcome to another Unreal Foos tutorial. Today I'm going to do an advanced rollover snake shot tutorial. Okay, the first thing, before you try to attempt to do any of this, you should really have a good basic standard rollover. And what that means is that you should be able to set up the ball and hit every option of the standard setup. So you should be able to just sit there and crank shots all day. Have a lot of that control. You should be able to do it off of a standstill, rocking the ball. You should be able to do that. You should be able to hit one dot holes. Same thing over here. Right, so you should have good command of the standard rollover in order to try to do some of these some of these more advanced techniques and options. So try to practice that. I have the other basic tutorial that shows some of those basic options. Okay, the first advanced technique I want to show you is walking the ball, and this is one of those techniques that will take your rollover to the next level. And you don't necessarily always have to walk the ball when you shoot, but it will give you enough control to be able to add some of the options that I'll show you once I show the walking technique. But so this is what a walking snake looks like. So once you're able to do that, then it opens up a new range of or a new set of options and possibilities with the snake. So in order to be able to walk the ball, it just really it takes a lot of time and practice. What you want to do is you want to get a good pin, a good setup. Anytime that you move the ball, you got to make sure that you have a good pin. And what you'll notice that when you start learning is that as you're walking and moving the ball around, sometimes the ball might move back or forward. If it moves too much, then it's okay to move your hand off the handle and go back and reset. You obviously have to keep in mind the timer in your head. You have a certain amount of time to shoot, so you don't want to reset and then go again and walk for a long time. You might have to take a timeout, but for the most part, if you're losing control of it, it's okay to let go of the handle. Use a standard grip over here where it's not on your wrist. Reset, and then go back to it. And what I typically do is, when you're trying to just walk and get a feel of what the defense is doing, you can take smaller steps like that, like 1 dot steps. So I go from 1 dot to the other. There's some times where you also want to practice going 2 dots. Or even trying to go a little bit longer, 3 dots all the way out to the long, and then move in. But usually it's better just to move in 1 dot intervals at the beginning so that you can get a good feel for the movement, and also to make sure that the ball doesn't move too far out of place where you're going to lose. Where you're gonna lose control, or the ball's gonna get out of this pinning position, and you're gonna have to reset. So, doing smaller movements, half movements, half dots, or even a full dot, going forwards and backwards. And obviously experiment with the type of grip that you do. And see if this feels good and comfortable. I mean, it's going to take some time. It's not something that takes just a week or so to practice and then you're set. I mean, it's going to take a while to just keep practicing and getting the feel for it. But obviously start doing this. Walk it all the way out. Like at that point, the ball is kind of moving a little bit back. I could try to compensate again by moving it a little bit so that moving the ball a little bit so that it moves forward back to the pinning spot. So if the ball was already going behind me, I could try to compensate a little bit if I could off the snake setup and move it so that the ball rolls a little bit forward. And if I'm able to get it back to where I feel it's a good pin for me to execute the shot, then I can keep going. And if not, like I mentioned earlier, go ahead and let go of the snake grip to your standard one, reset, make sure it's a good pin, and go back again. Okay, so now that we've looked at walking the ball, let's see what we can do with that movement. Okay, so if you were to walk the ball a lot, what I typically try to do is look for the easier shots, which are the shorter shots. And what that means is that if I'm walking the ball to one side and I see that the defense is giving me one dot shots, or essentially moving the ball about one dot over, then I look for those shots. So assuming that, for example, I'm moving the ball and this defender tries to block the long on the push and more middle right here, and it gives me this inside hole, then I'm gonna look for those and I'm gonna shoot those. So if I'm here, I'm gonna go right inside of this guy and try to split him. So if I notice then that the defense is maybe giving me, if they're compensating or not trying to give me that, and maybe trying to make me go long, because typically what you want to do is, if you're moving the ball to one side, you first want to make the person see if or you first want to force them to go back all the way long, to go all the way over here and shoot here, because that's the tougher shot. So, but again, if you split them, they're going to try to compensate, and perhaps they're going to do this and leave the push side open again. So if you're moving, then you can go back and hit that push side. Now, again, if you're a smarter defender, you definitely want to take this side, and you want to see if the person is able to essentially be able to execute the shot all the way long, because it's tougher to do. So if somebody's taking that away, they're taking my inside option and that, I want to see if I'm able to hit maybe 3/4 or even a little bit longer than that. So if I go here and I see that somebody's being very greedy with these holes and giving me a long shot, then I'm gonna take that. And so one of the things I can do is, as I'm moving here, before I execute the shot, you can try to do one standard rock on it so that you can get good, a good pull, and you're able to go long. So like that, I mean, you can practice doing it different ways, like just like if you're just moving. So that's typically what you want to do, and the same thing when you're walking to the pull side. You always want to look for if somebody's doing more of a standard defense like this, is you want to see if you can split them. If you have to go long, then you go long. And also, I haven't mentioned that, obviously always try to look for straights as well. I mean, that's my philosophy is you always take the easiest shot, right? The easiest shot is always going straight, or when you have a really a wide open, where somebody's just kind of forcing you to do that, then you take that. But try to always move, look for straights or one dots on either side. So that's usually the philosophy I take, until they make the adjustment and they force me to go one way where it's, you know, really long, and I have to prove that I can go that way. So okay, you know, doing all the walking and shooting, it's actually kind of tiring, and most of the time I don't walk the ball. I stick to my standard rollover, but I add options where I do fakes, and the fakes come by, you know, moving the ball a little bit, maybe 1-2 times, and then going to a hole. And that's what you're gonna find most of the time. You know, you want to do that, conserve your energy, see if you can hit options of the standard one, and then add in some of these advanced options. But certainly being able to walk the ball helps with, you know, being able to do moving the ball one way and going the other way. So let me show you some options, for example, like that I use. One is doing a faking that I'm going push by going 1 dot on the push side, and then as soon as I do that, I come back with a long pull side. So this is what it would look like. Sometimes I'll just fake once, you know, I'll fake a couple of times. Like I'll do my standard fake, come back, fake, come back, fake, come back, just to see if that's going to be open. But when I'm going to execute it, I go like that. So I do a 1 dot and then come back to the pull side. By doing this, you know, when you go here, sometimes that freezes people because there's movement. They think you're gonna go there, and it will leave the side open. Another one that I like to use is doing this is a double movement. You know, going one way, another way, coming back, and then going on the other direction, or on the direction that I'm coming from. So if I go here, right? So I do that, as opposed to doing only once and then going. Now this is 1. If I wanted to do it on this side, I go 1, come back, and then go. So it's a different variation. I mean, it's you know, you can mix it up as you like, but you got to see what works, and especially when you're playing a match, there's going to be certain shots that where you see that the person overreacts. So there's no need to go here and come back. You can just go and then go to your shot. Okay, so that's one set of advanced types of shots where you're moving. I want to show you some fakes that I do without having to actually move the ball. I like doing fakes like this, where if I'm rocking for a while, then I'll stop, then I'll fake one way and go the other way. I mean, this is a good technique, because when you get somebody into the rhythm of the rock and then you stop and then you do a quick movement, you know, the person tends to react that way. So if I want to go to the pull side, I will rock, stop, then go here, and then go pull side. So it'll look like this. And so this particular shot was just basically, if I'm doing it right off of here, is just, you know, like sitting still, is just moving once and then going for my shot like that. But you know, that little hitch that starts the rock going this way and then coming back the other one, that throws off people, because that reaction causes them to try to go over here, and it opens up that side. And the same thing if you do it the other way, where you start going pull and then go to a push side. So if I'm here and I'm trying to sell, so I can do fakes like that. I typically use those fakes when I see that somebody's is very jumpy, and or if I see that maybe, you know, they're trying to race me one way, or they're, you know, maybe trying to bait me to go to the pull side. Then what I'll do is, as soon as I stop, that little reaction, the fact that they're so far off, and then a little reaction moves them, it's not going to be enough to, once I put the fake and they move a little bit, by the time I go, I've already scored before they can react to go cover that side. So try these. So try these fakes like that. The other one is, it's some people will fall for it, not too many, but it's basically doing a tap and straight. So you're rocking here, and just go straight. You tap and then go straight. Oh, well, what about dead bar shots? Well, dead bar shots, they're okay. I mean, you might want to try them, just you know, just to do them. And then, you know, the dead bar shot is trying to go around this defense where this defender is all the way up against the wall. So trying to go pull side all the way around it. Now, if you're shooting that hole, then you're essentially looking at the wrong thing, because if you imagine that this guy's guarding this, you can see how big the rest of the goal is here, how many holes there are. So there's definitely a bigger hole somewhere else. So, but you know, some people want to do them. I can hit them, but I typically don't practice them as much, just because I know I won't be trying to shoot them. I mean, you definitely want to get a nice long pull, and you want to be able to square the shot to be able to get a nice square long. But whether it goes dead bar or not, you know, that doesn't really matter, because you know, you can always, you know, little sprays, inside sprays, or you know, go the other way. So if I try to go dead bar, I mean, I'm pretty much, might be able to get around there. I might hit the wall if I go too long. I hit it, but you know, you can see that it hit it kind of hit the corner a little bit. But you know, some people will have a better pulse, a better side. I think like for me, typically I can definitely go a little bit longer here on the pull side, because I can square it better. But I have a faster push side, and sometimes I don't worry too much about going all the way out to the dead bar. I just worry about going fast to that side. Like, you know, it's long, but you know, if I try to go dead bar, I mean, it's probably gonna get blocked, because I don't like I said, I don't practice that. But like I went around that one, but again, it hit the wall. So it's not a given. Even if you're able to go around it, you know, it's not guaranteed that you're going to score it, because it might hit the wall like that last shot. But so, you know, again, for me, a dead bar shot is not necessarily something that you want to mix in, but you definitely want to mix in getting good, or you want to practice things, you know, shots that go deep, fast and squared, not necessarily dead bar, but you know, good shots that go out there. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Send me some questions and comments. If I didn't cover something that you wanted to see, let me know, and I can always jump up here and do a new video, and I'll be glad to talk about it.